going to do a set of waterfall pages that look like they have file tabs on the side. And I'm doing 11 tabs, and I cut those using this punch that I have, which makes really long tabs, and then I cut them down on one side to make them the right size to fit on this guide that I drew out. And I sort of measured out the page. This is a page that I tore out while I was gluing pages together. And I figured out how much space each tab could take up, doing a little math. And then I made these tabs the right size. And I sort of drew this out because originally I was going to cut the pages into tabs, but then I realized that they would be really flimsy and that this might be a better solution. So I want my my tabs to be set in from the pages that surround them. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch off. And then when I put the tabs on, they're going to add back about half of that, about 1/2 inch, maybe a little less. So they'll be a little bit shorter than the pages that surround them, and that's a good thing. And I masked off the number of pages that I want to use, and these are glued together 2 pages. So what I did for most of them was tore out a page in between the 2 pages that I glued together, just to cut down on bulk so that I can add some collage bits and stuff like that. So this is actually 12 pages because there's going to be a page in front that needs to be shorter too. And I rubber banded them together so that I wouldn't have to keep counting, okay, do I have 11 pages or do I have 12 pages? And I put my cutting board inside the book so that I can just cut through. And the key to doing stuff like this is not to press very hard, to just drag the blade across and let it do all the work. And I did change to a new blade before I started, which also helps. So my next step is to apply these tabs, and I'm going to do this before I do any painting or anything like that, because I want to paint the tabs the color of the pages. So I made myself this little guide, and I sort of know where each tab needs to fall, and I've got a line going here that shows me where the top of the tab should fit. So now it's just a matter of applying glue to each side of the tabs. And lining them up on the book and gluing them in place. And then when this dries, I'm just going to trim a little bit of this page away so that it's rounded. And I'm going to do that to all of these pages that I've cut. So let me show you how the second one goes. I'm going to apply some glue. And I'm going to check and double check to make sure that I really do have the next page up, because that would be bad to glue this to the wrong page. I want to make sure that I'm following my line so that the edges of the tabs all line up when the book is done. I don't think I quite have it on this one yet. There. And I'm just going to keep gluing all the way along until I get to the top. So here's my file folder set up with all the tabs on it. And I had to cheat a little bit on this last tab. It was just a little bit too long. So I'm just going to cut it off kind of flush with the top of the page. And then I'm going to cut off this little corner right here to kind of curve it. Even with all the measuring and the template and everything, you never can tell whether everything is going to work out exactly the way you think. So I'm going to punt. There. So now this is what it looks like. And this book's a little fiddly because it's got a niche in the front of it, which is making all the back pages flip forward. So, but you can see that this just looks just like a file folder.